Samourai Wallet was a CoinJoin product. And to my mind, what that means is, basically you can send Bitcoin to a CoinJoin service. It then mixes that Bitcoin up with tons of other Bitcoin and spits it back out the other side, such that the transaction is impossible to follow. So it's basically, it's like a Western when you see the cowboy with a twig scraping over his tracks so he can't be followed. Same concept, but with digital peer-to-peer money, Bitcoin. And what's so interesting about this is that they have been, the founders of this business, they've been tracked down, they've been put through a legal process, they've been heavily fined, and they've faced jail time, 3 to 5 years. It's like, whew, that's actually pretty savage. Well, in my mind, I was of the belief that software is free speech essentially, and so you are covered under that area of law. And so to see these guys get taken out by the legal system in the US, fined heavily, and put in jail for basically having a software product, it's like, whoa, that's pretty intense. Like, what can be so bad about that? And improving people's privacy online. So in some ways, it's like, obviously it's a deterrent, isn't it? They want people to know that if you go and try and build these type of privacy focused products, they're going to try and chase you because they quite like how things are, i.e. the surveillance financial system that exists. So it's pretty scary in some ways. Like, of course, that would put me off getting involved in CoinJoins, like for now at least. There were some other details in here that I did come across that I thought were quite interesting. And I'm afraid I forget. Yeah, I mean, they talk about it being a mixer, which is interesting. And basically they didn't have the correct licensing, and, is it a money service business, and all this kind of jargon of like, what's the right way of saying it? Jargon. I don't want to be dismissive, but it seems to me that the system essentially has come after them and they want to make an example of them. It's like, look, guys, you go and build products that means that we can't properly surveil you financially, then we're going to put you in jail and we're going to fine you, which is not how I would like to see things, especially in a supposedly free market oriented place like the US. But yeah, equally, why can't I go and hide how I behave online? And I think that's where you come down to this fundamental discussion of privacy and secrecy. And I've never really been one for Monero, but I hear of people that are interested in privacy using Monero quite a lot. Again, not shilling it, don't own it, but people out there do. And it reminds me of the excellent book, Resistance Money, that Andrew Bailey wrote. And it's got a brilliant section just talking about how physical cash works. When I get given physical cash, I don't know who had it before the person that gave it to me. I don't have any personal details on who gave it to me. I don't know how old they are or what sex they are or what address they have or how much other money they've got. I just know that that's a $10 bill and I take it from them. So it's got what's called backward privacy. Like, I have no idea where it's been. And then when I go and spend that money, the person that I give it to has the same problem. And that becomes then forward privacy. So as the cash changes hands, the privacy of the buyer and the seller remains intact, and we don't have tons of private individual information on each other. And that's what, in some ways, a Samourai Wallet and any other CoinJoin service is kind of doing. It's helping Bitcoin, the digitally native peer-to-peer cash, actually function as cash. So it's very frustrating to see this happen. And I'm so sorry to those two developers that have got wrapped up in this that face jail time, because what they're building is something that the world needs and something that the world should be encouraging to create. And it's only through the nefarious, long fingernails of the central bankers that can print their own money, pay for the police force, pay for the judicial system to hunt down their competition. Like, they do not want an algorithm that delivers value to people to send, receive, and store over time that is out of the control of the state and out of the control of them, specifically the central banks. Like, why would they want that? Of course they don't want that. So yeah, it's a sad story. and it would be a bloody tough time for those guys and their families. And I really, my heart goes out to them. But yeah, wow, interesting to watch. Like the powers that be are not going to fuck around, and that's why a lot of people that are in the Bitcoin space will talk about OPSEC, operational security. Why do they like to be anonymous online? Well, very simple. It's a very good form of defense. If you don't really know who that person is because they've got a picture of a Japanese guy and some laser eyes coming out and a name you can never find anywhere else except for on that one Twitter profile, then it makes them very difficult to attack because you don't know where they are. But gosh, it should be possible to transact digitally in a private manner. Like, come on, like, what are we playing at here? Anyway, I hope that gets resolved. Long story short, we need more of these things, not less. Good time.